and I'm smoking on platinum. Got my eye on the prize so I don't do distractions. I'm coming back.
Yo, what it do? It's your boys Juice and Lou. We back here with another episode for you guys, man. We back with the football talks. And you know we got something special for you. Now we gonna hit you guys with our which QB will have the most pressure next season. Now that's as far as winning Super Bowl, pretty much anything. So which QB has the most pressure to succeed next year? Let's just say it like that. So I think I'll go first this time. I think I'll go first. The main QB, I think it's obvious. Honestly, I think it's clearly Baker Mayfield. I think it's clearly Baker Mayfield.
Oh my God!
Am I wrong?
Said Baker Mayfield.
Yes, definitely Baker Mayfield. We all know Baker. If Baker played good all last year, they would have had a better record than 10-6. I think that's facts. You had your games where you played like doo-doo, and then you had your games where you played amazing. There was never in between. Never in between. So this year, when people have way higher expectations of you, in your team, you're fourth in power rankings because your defense, everybody's hyping up this defense, and then the offense is healthy. But I'm not sold on Baker Mayfield yet. I'm not. So how do we know Baker Mayfield is going to come out and really prove people wrong and be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to play like this. We're the Browns. We're going to go. Everybody looking at the Browns as contenders. I'm like, y'all really looking at them as contenders? Like, really? I'm not. Not even close. They had the Browns better than the Ravens, the Packers. There's another team. There was another team. That was crazy. But they have them better than the Ravens and the Packers. I'm just like, huh? Ravens and the Packers? No, not even close. Well, it's close. I jazzed it. But they hyping it up. I'm like, yo.
My goodness gracious.
Listen, Baker Mayfield has to play good in every single game. He either has to have average to good games. He cannot have bad games like he did last year. Below average to bad. Or if he had a good game, he would screw it up by making a dumb decision. And it'll cost you in football. Basketball is back and forth, this and that. It'll be fine. Football, it can cost you everything. It can cost you everything. It's just like Baker definitely is up there with the pressure, especially because everybody has high expectations for the Browns.
Is he the only quarterback you got?
I'm thinking I'm thinking Herbert, Justin Herbert, because he had a good rookie year, and now everybody has high expectations for the Chargers too. So it's kind of like, can he do it again with everybody back and stuff like that? And, I guess you could throw him in there. Trevor Lawrence kind of had some pressure, even though the Jags. I mean, people think the Jags are an 8-win team now. I'm like, whoa, okay. I guess you could throw Lamar in there. Let's see if he can take him longer or just win playoff games. And, Matthew Stafford. I think he has a little bit of pressure. Matthew Stafford has a little bit of pressure.
Number one's Baker?
The number one is for sure Baker. For sure.
Oh, okay. Well, before I say mine, I'm going to have to completely disagree with that. First of all, who do you think was better last year, Baker or Lamar?
I say Baker because we had a COVID season. So
everybody dealt with COVID.
We were terrible. Like, we lost everybody. Like, we were
Yep.
down bad with COVID.
You weren't the worst team.
The only
I tell
thing
you
you could
that.
say, the Browns lost was like they lost like 4 receivers, but that was like late in the season.
That cost them a game. What are you talking about?
A game.
Didn't they lose to the Jets?
We lost.
Because they
First
had
off,
no receivers?
we were down bad majority of the season because of every time somebody came back, another person would go out with COVID. So it was like, oh, you back? All right, I'm gonna go. And then it was back and forth. But Baker had the better season because of that.
My gosh. Okay. Well, you're wrong with Baker. I mean, he doesn't have immense pressure because last year, first of all, he did it without their number one receiver, Odell. He'll be back this year, hopefully healthy. He played darn well good without Odell. I mean, Jarvis Landry, he's good, but I wouldn't say he's number one talent. Not right now. He played darn well good still. Completed 63% of his passes. Only threw 8 picks. Prior to the year, he threw 21 picks. He finally had a full-time head coach this year as well. And he actually won Coach of the Year. So he had a really good coaching staff finally to help him out along this road. And his 2 previous years, their coaches were getting fired left and right in Cleveland. He never had a stable coach to help him. And now we saw with his stable coach, his O-line, probably one of the best played last year. He only got sacked 26 times compared to 40 times in 2019. I mean, he played pretty darn well. I don't think he has much to prove. I mean, yeah, everybody wants to win a Super Bowl, but I still think the Browns, they're contenders to a degree. They got to stay healthy on defense first. I mean, a lot of players were in and out, especially in that secondary. Then you have, like I said, Odell. He was out the lineup. No one really expected them to win. So they are contenders this year, especially if Odell comes back and is still that generational talent we thought he was. Then, yeah, I guess you say that. But, I mean, the Browns, they're like an under-the-radar kind of team. Now, for my quarterback, my number one quarterback, I had 3, honestly. But my number one quarterback, I got to go with Matthew Stafford because he got traded from Detroit. Everybody was like, oh, man, Matthew Stafford is such a great talent. He can do all the passes like Mahomes does, the no-look passes. We've seen him do it, throw the deep ball, probably one of the strongest arms in the league. I mean, everybody acknowledges his talent. But now, coming to the year, ESPN got him, everybody's sport page got him top 10 quarterback. And this was out of nowhere. And that's because he's in LA. He's not in Detroit no more. He finally has an expectation to at least go to the conference championship. He finally has the defense because that's probably was their biggest weakness in Detroit. They never had a really key defense to help Stafford out because he already had the receiver. He had Calvin Johnson. So he couldn't get it done with Calvin Johnson. He has 0 playoff wins. Now he's going to a system. Sean McVay, one of the best offensive coordinators in the league and head coaches. Then you got Cam Akers. He is out for the year, but they got Darrell Henderson as a backup. He's a solid running back. I wouldn't be upset if they picked up someone like, I think they were looking at signing a backup running back. His last name was Junk, but I forgot his first name. They had really high on him. He was a 7th-round draft pick. They like him as well. They got the receivers. They're not Calvin Johnson type, of course, but they still darn good. You got Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Tyler Higbee. So he has the offense, the necessary pieces. If he doesn't, I say it's a failure season for the Rams, especially if they're all healthy, if they don't make it to the conference championship game. It's a failed season. And Stafford has to – because last year numbers, Stafford threw 26 touchdowns, 10 picks, 4,000 yards. He did miss, I think, 2 games or 3. So he he was getting injury prone at the end of his career. I mean, he's getting older as well, so it's gonna happen as much as the hits he's been taking in Detroit. But now you're with the Rams, like I talked about. The spotlight's in LA. People are gonna be watching what you do. So he's my number one.
Yeah,
Now
I do have them. I do have the Rams like winning the NFC. So yeah,
that's for another video. But I think for my second and third quarterback, it kind of makes sense, but I wouldn't be mad if people didn't. I got Lamar and Dak because Lamar, he's still got to get that contract money. He's not signed fully yet. And Dak, he just got paid big bucks. So he has to prove for the next couple years that he can actually sustain his level of play through the fractured ankle it was, I'm pretty sure. Even though he just got a shoulder injury in practice or training camp, I don't think it's going to be too bad, though. I think he will be all right by the time regular season starts. But back to Lamar, he hasn't signed fully yet. That's a big red sign. God barring injury, of course. If he gets hurt, I don't know if he will get big bucks. So he better put on a show at least the first 3 weeks, because if he doesn't, then the contract talks may go down a little bit. But I think the Ravens, y'all got Bateman may be out a couple weeks, actually, now that I thought about it. So that's your rookie talent. You still got a good backfield, JK and Gus Edwards. Probably going to be a top 5 rushing team again. I don't know about number 1 again, but they're for sure going to be up there.
yeah.
Defense is always going to be solid with Marcus Peters, Marlon, Calais Campbell, Patrick Queen. Y'all signed Justin Houston as well. So I think y'all team is, of course, constructed to be a contender team. So we'll see how y'all do there. But Dak, their team isn't really constructed to be contenders. They're constructed to be the best team in the NFC East, though. But that's not too
It's
hard.
not hard. Like,
Yeah, it's not too hard. Even though the football team, they're literally a star quarterback away from a great team. But who knows if they'll ever get that. But the Cowboys, their defense still has questions, so their offense is going to have to carry a load the regular season, in my opinion. And if Dak's able to do that, I think that's enough he has to prove. I don't really expect a Super Bowl for the Cowboys in at least 2 to 3
Not
years.
even close. Not even close. Honestly, unless they rebuild that defense right now, they're not winning nothing in the next 3 to 5 years, if anything. So this offense is going to be pretty much a waste. But hey, that's going to wrap up this episode, you guys. Let us know what you think down below in them comments. What QB has the most pressure going into the season? Now, the next video, we got something good for you. Can't talk about it, but we got something good for you, though. But until then, it's your boys, Juice and Luke, and we out of here. Peace.